I was looking through some of my older pictures the other day and I came across this one. It was taken in Mallorca, a small Spanish island just off the coast of Spain, which I suppose is handy. And I thought, wow, this could really lend itself to a painterly style image. And that's exactly what we're going to have a look at producing. But we're going to be using one of my favourite plugins. So to make a start, we're going to use Command J on a Mac. That's Control J on a PC, just to duplicate the background layer. We're going to go up to Filter, dropping down to Topaz Labs. You can see I've got a whole range of Topaz plugins. Don't use many plugins at all, but I do like the ones from Topaz Labs. We're going to click on Topaz Clean 2. This is going to open the Topaz Clean dialog box. You can pop along to topazlabs.com. There you will find the whole range of various Topaz softwares available for both PC and Mac on a 30-day trial basis. There's no sort of restrictions. In other words, you're not going to get any sort of funny messages saying, can't load it or whatever. They are fully operational. Right, let's zoom in to this one and take a look. We're going to start off, if you look down the side here, you'll see if I just click on cartoon, this is the standard look. We got a whole range of different presets coming down the side here. For example, if we click on smooth curly, this is going to give the image the smooth curly preset. That looks pretty good like that. Let's zoom across to this side, just clicking in the window, or you can use the navigator window down the bottom there. You see some nice effects coming through. It's also got a more serious side. For example, the skin even is a brilliant one. If you do portraiture, it just gets rid of that sort of texture in the skin, for want of a better word. It really is a terrific filter, and in used with the curly smooth can really bring out some detail in the hair. We'll look at that in a separate video. Right, coming back to this one, we're going to go to cartooned because it's a good place to start. Taking a look at this, it depends on the look we're after. I want to give it sort of like almost like a watery colour effect, something similar but perhaps with a little bit more definition. So we're going to drop this down to 6. This is now going to process this, and we're now going to drop the threshold down to about that area there. This will bring through some more detail. You see through it comes like that. And we're going to drop the radius. We're going to take this right the way down to 4, which is the lower setting. The radius, you'll notice the colour pops through just a little bit more when it comes in there. Some colour shooting through in that area, and it just tends to fill out the little bits and pieces, some of the little gaps we can have. Just going to take the threshold up a touch with this. Just a little bit more, I think, will do the trick there. Just remove some of the effect from the tree itself. Talking of trees, the next tab we're going to look at is great for bringing out detail in foliage and on edges, and it's the Edges tab. Right, coming to this, we're going to take the accent up to a 3, and with all of these, just play with it, see what you get, see what works with your style images. Going to come to the radius, we're going to whack this up to 3.5-ish, alright, 3.55-ish. This coming across now, you'll notice as this pops in, it's going to accent the foliage with this nicely, like that. Going to take the sharpness, again, it's worth playing with this. Just take it up a little bit higher, and I'll show you what I mean. So take the sharpness up with the edges, through it comes. Just pop into the foliage, in particular on the area of the trees here. Let's see how this is going to look. There. Not so sure about the sharpness on this, so I'm going to drop the sharpness back down, see how this is going to come through like this, and say it really is trial and error. We're going to take the accent up to 4 and just wait for that to process. There it is. Job done. Let's zoom down. Let's take a look at this part of the image here before making a final decision. There, because the accent round will come in round the area of the chairs here, and it'll come in with the foliage just like that. So that looks pretty good. Right, if you see something you like, click on snap. You'll notice recall comes in there, because now what we can do is we've actually started to save this. So the work we've put in so far, we can actually save. Now, just as an example, when we came with this one, we looked on clean, and you notice where you could get the detail out of the bark. Well, you can still come back to this. We're just going to drop the threshold down a little bit more. This will bring through the detail in the bark, so we can see how it's working now with the edges that we've got in here, and there it is, through it comes, and you can see we got this sort of look coming through. You might want to come into this, might want to drop this down to 3, and it is all about experimenting and seeing what you can get out of your pictures, and just waiting for that. Looks pretty good like that. Again, snap 2. So now we've got the choice of the 2. We can actually go for recall our number 1 process, see how that looks, and it comes like that. We can recall our number 2 process, and we can even save them both as our own preset, which is absolutely brilliant. Just waiting for this to come through. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for snap number 1 because I've got a cunning plan when we get back into Photoshop that I think our sort of watery colour effect will work well with. In fact, I'm also going to come into the edges where we are now. I'm just going to drop this down to 3. I think it just takes some of the highlights away from that would be better. That's pretty good like that. Right, now at this stage we're going to go to presets. I'm going to come to save, which is just off the screen. We've got save, delete, import and whatever. I'm going to call this smoothie because it's a nice smoothie style image. Click in that, so that's now saved this. You'll notice in a second, there it is. It's now saving all the presets. Equally, you could recall to and save that as well as a separate preset as well. So if I scroll down now, there it is. There's the smoothie one we have just added. Right, let's click OK. Let's open this in Photoshop. It's coming through to the other side. My watch is ticking away, and we've now got this lovely sort of progress bar. Now at this stage, we can either sort of collectively try and will this blue line across. Alternatively, I could just press... Got that wrong. Should have said pause, then resume when it reaches this side. Right, it's been applied. Let's zoom in. Let's take a look. Right, here we are. Let's have a look at 100%. Just going to press the spacebar, zooming around. Really like this effect. I think it works well with the image. Some nice detail. Love the way it's got that swirly, surreal effect there onto the leaves of the trees coming through. You can still see the text there clearly, which I think is important. Great stuff. Right, we can add a bit of texture to this. Let's have a bit of fun with texture. Now we're going to come to the FX icon here. We're going to come down to Pattern Overlay just off the screen. Wouldn't you know it? Clicking on this will open Layers Styles on Pattern Overlay. Gonna come because I'm not so sure the bubbles work with this one. And if we just click here, I'm just going to quickly reset this. I'm going to click OK just to show you. You click on the arrow, dropping down, and we're going to go for Rock Patterns. We're going to click Append, which will add it to the list. And there we have all our rock patterns. So now you can say your images really do. Can't believe I just said that. We're going to go for this one here, which is like a marble effect. Clicking on the blend mode, we're going to drop down to soft lights. You may want to try sort of something like overlay, multiply as well, or even just on normal and reduce the opacity down. I've gone for soft lights because I know it works with this picture. We're just going to reduce it down to that sort of area there. If I switch the preview on and off, you can see how well this particular texture works with this image. You might even want to try some artist paper, that sort of thing. But there you are, if I just switch it on and off, you can see it just fills in, particularly on the building here, it just fills in some of the detail there, just adds to the effect that we've got going on with the image on its own. So let's pop out to this area here. Finally, let's come down, come into the adjustment layers, come into levels. Let's just check this out. Just going to brighten it up a little bit by moving the slider in like that to that area there. Just a little bit of bite. Clicking on CS4, we're going to come and choose the hue saturation. So just open a new hue saturation adjustment layer, bring it in to give it some nice bite to the color. And there it is. There is our finished image. Let's just take a look. We started off with that there. Let's zoom in so we can see the effect clearly as well. So there it is at 100%. There's the nice paint to the effect, sort of thing print out on matte paper, canvas paper. Really does work a treat. And don't forget, it's saved as a preset. Pop along to topazlabs.com. There's some superb software, both Windows and PC. Give it a try, and until the next time, happy imaging and take care.